Today we'll be going head to head between the Nest Doorbell and the Ring Doorbell. This is the Nest Doorbell battery version, and this is the Ring Battery Doorbell Pro. Let me start off by saying both of these doorbells are amazing. Each of them has their own unique features and a lot of shared features. We'll go over the design, installation, app setup and customization, key features, real-world performance, subscriptions, and more. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to decide which one's right for you. Enough with the intro, let's get started. Now, it's probably worth mentioning this right off the bat. If you already have an Alexa smart home with Echo devices all over the place, then you should probably just get the Ring. It doesn't really make sense to go outside of the ecosystem. And of course, if you have a whole Google smart home and you have Nest devices all over the place, you should probably go with the Nest Doorbell. Now, of course, you could just use your phone for everything, in which case none of that matters at all. But smart home integration does matter. Okay, so let's start with design and build quality. I think we all know what the Ring Doorbell looks like at this point. It's pretty iconic, right? It's like a thick black and silver rectangle with a button. Actually, it's kind of like this. And when you press it, it has that familiar chime and lights up in blue. Now, I'm not really a big fan of that design. It's very popular. A lot of people like it. You drive around, you see them on the front of everybody's houses. The Nest, on the other hand, has a much more sleek, modern design. I think it looks classy. It looks futuristic. I love the rounded edges and the big button. The button glows at night if it senses something. With the Ring, you could actually purchase different faceplates if you want to change the color. The Nest has 4 different colors to choose from, and they're all pretty nice. I actually ended up buying the least favorite of my color choices because it matched my house the best. But yeah, with the design, it's probably not important what I think, but I think the Nest blows away the Ring. Okay, now let's talk about installation and power options. Hey, wasn't I drinking a coffee? First of all, both the Nest and the Ring do come in wired versions where there is no battery. But these battery versions can be wired in if you choose. Now, as far as the installation goes, I thought that both of them were very easy to install. However, the Nest one had the clearest, easiest instructions. The app guides you to a video and images. It tells you exactly what tools you need, exactly what's in the box, and it really has idiot-proof step-by-step instructions. And I appreciate that. Now, the Ring, on the other hand, although I found it easy to install, it was a little confusing with the instructions. It came with a package of all different screws. They both come with a wedge if you want to change the angle, but the Ring wedge, I couldn't even tell where the screw holes match up with the device. It was just a little more convoluted and confusing. I found myself researching it online, looking for videos, and it really just wasn't as straightforward. But then again, I was able to install both of them pretty easily. I actually drilled them into a brick wall as well. So I think Google wins as far as installation. But then there's the battery and the charging. So if you want to charge the battery on the Nest, you have to pop it off the wall and plug it in. And it comes with a little tool, which you're definitely going to lose, so you can just use a flathead screwdriver. Now, this process is very easy. You literally just pop it off the wall and plug it into USB-C. It takes a few hours to charge, and then you pop it back on. But the Ring has one big thing that the Nest doesn't have, which is a removable battery, and I think that's awesome. You just remove the faceplate, pop the battery out, and plug it in. But the really amazing thing is that if you get a second battery, you can literally just swap them out in a matter of seconds, and then there's no downtime where you're without a doorbell. I think that's one of the best features of the Ring, and if anything, Google should definitely do that in the future, as long as it doesn't sacrifice the beautiful design. So I think Nest has a slight edge when it comes to ease of installation and clear instructions, but Ring wins in the removable battery department. I love that. Now, as far as the battery life goes, Ring offers pretty much no information. I wasn't able to find anything. I couldn't find estimates on how long the batteries last. I couldn't even find the size of the battery. But you can search sites like Reddit and just hear people talking about their own experiences. Nest, on the other hand, literally breaks it down, claiming anywhere from about 1 month to about 6 months, depending on how much activity your doorbell experiences. I've had pretty similar experiences with both. If I had to give it to one of them, I would say maybe the Ring lasts a little bit longer, but the Ring has the edge in the battery department because you could remove and replace it. rather than having to pull it off the wall like the Nest. Okay, let's move on to app setup and smart features. So the Ring app is good, the doorbell's easy to set up. I don't like the Alexa app at all, and if you have an Alexa smart home, you'll need that app to integrate the Ring into your smart home. I find with Alexa, I have to search all around the app for all different features. Now, if you are a hardcore Google Home user and you have Nest devices all over your house, you probably are very frustrated with a lot of things regarding their app, and so am I, but I just think it's so much better than the Alexa app. And if you set up the doorbell, everything's in one place. Google, again, is simple and easy when it comes to the software. Now, the AI-powered alerts is one area where I think there's a big difference. Ring can detect motion, people, packages, but that's about it. Nest, however, uses AI-powered alerts, which can detect people, packages, animals, and vehicles. I think that's amazing. Plus, if you have a Nest Aware subscription, it has facial recognition and it can identify people's faces. So you basically just select a face, program it in, and then the next time they ring the doorbell, it'll tell you who's at the door. So if I ring the doorbell at my home, it says Scott's at the front door. I can have it detect cars pulling in and out of my driveway if I'd like. And the first time I actually got the animal detection alert, there was a coyote in front of my house. It was pretty cool that it caught that very early in the morning while it was still dark. So again, that's a big win for Nest. Okay, now let's talk about motion detection and notifications. Now, both of these apps allow you to customize the motion zones so that the doorbells only capture motion in the areas that you desire. This is so you're not capturing every car that drives by or people that walk by in an area that your camera is capturing, but not on your property. They both seem to work the same, but when you're actually moving around the activity zones, I find it really hard to do with the Ring doorbell. Like the little dots are hard to grab, and where you move one dot drastically affects where you can move the other dot. It just seems a little bit annoying to use. But again, it's a one-time setup probably, and you'll likely never need to use it again. Now, let's say you already have a smart home set up and you have some Google Home devices, maybe you have a Nest Hub, and somebody rings the doorbell. You can set it up to ring on those devices, and if you have a Nest display like a Nest Hub Max, it will show the person who's ringing the doorbell on the display, which is great. Same goes for your Echo devices. If somebody rings your Ring doorbell, you can have it ring on your Echo devices, and if you have an Echo Show, they'll show up on there as well. So for that aspect, I think it's a tie. And just something to mention, you can change the chime sound on either device. The Ring and the Nest both have different options when somebody rings the doorbell. Not that important, but worth mentioning. There is something really cool that Ring has that Nest doesn't, and that's Ring Neighbors. It's basically a built-in social network where you can share security footage, crime reports, local events. It's pretty cool. However, it's also kind of a double-edged sword. As cool as Ring Neighbors is, it can also be a little creepy and unsettling. When I discovered this feature, the very first post I saw was somebody asking if anyone else heard gunshots in the area, and other people were chiming in saying, "Oh yeah, those were definitely gunshots." And when I looked on the map, it was just a couple of neighborhoods away from me. Not cool. I've also seen a lot of posts where there's security footage of people breaking into people's homes and stealing stuff. There was one where a car pulled up, a bunch of people got up, went into the garage, and as they were coming out, one of them had a gun. Like, that's not something I really want to see on my Ring app. And yes, sometimes that could be just too much information. Now, there are fun things too that I've seen people post. They have fun mashups with silly music of animals at their doorstep. And again, overall, it really is a cool feature, and it's something I'd rather have and not use than not have at all. So I still put this in the plus column for Ring. It's a great feature to have. It can just be a little unsettling if you're watching people's videos of crimes. Okay, let's get into the video quality and field of view. Now, I don't know how important the numbers are, like Ring advertises a 1536p HD view, head to toe, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And the Google has a 960 by 1280 HD 3x4 vertical aspect ratio, head to toe, whatever. I'm here to talk about this in real world scenarios. So both of these devices were hanging on my wall side by side. With the Nest, I actually used the wedge to tilt it a little bit to get a better viewing angle. With the Ring though, I didn't need to. Now this is something I thought was really weird because every video that I saw on the Ring had a weird kind of like fisheye look to it, and it even had sort of a like vignette on the sides, which I really didn't like. But on the live view, you can actually make it full screen, put your phone in landscape, and it has this beautiful like widescreen view of your entire front of your house. But on the recorded videos, it goes away. It's just this little fisheye view, which I can't seem to be able to make wide like in the live view. So unless I'm doing something wrong, it seems like the live view on the Ring is much better than the recorded view. I just don't really understand why that wasn't the case when it was recorded. And I feel like it's important to see as much as you can on the recorded clips as well. Now, Google has that really nice natural 3x4 vertical head-to-toe view. So when somebody walks up to your door and rings the doorbell, you can see their head, you can see their toes, and it looks pretty clear and crisp. Now when I'm looking at either app, whether it's live or recorded, I personally feel that the Nest has a clearer, sharper image, despite the Ring having the better specs. Now from my personal experience, when I go to zoom in on somebody's face or a package, for example, I feel that the Nest does look clearer to me. That said, I really do think that both of them are going to be adequate in this respect. They do have their differences, but they both worked fine for me. They both captured every place that I wanted to be captured, and I just think that they're both fine. The Ring does have the ability to go wider, but only on the live view, and I don't think it looks as good on the recorded view. Now the Ring also does have bird's eye view, which when you hear that, it sounds a little confusing. It's like, wait a second, bird's eye view? Like, is there somehow a camera that can see from a bird's eye view and look down at your property? But no, it's not that. It's just more of a map of your property, so you can see a marker of where something is happening. So I think the language is a bit gimmicky, but that's what it is. And in practice, I don't know. I don't feel like it's helpful at all, but it is a difference. And again, might as well have a feature and not use it than not have it at all. Now let's talk about recording, storage, and subscription plans. So both the Ring and the Nest offer monthly subscriptions, and with both of them you'll get a free trial so you can test out these features. But one thing that's not great about the Ring is if you have no subscription, you get no video history at all. Nest, on the other hand, without a subscription for free, gives you 3 hours of event history and AI-powered smart alerts. So if you aren't interested in paying a monthly subscription, then Google is going to win in this category. With Ring, you can now choose from 3 plans: Basic, Standard, and Premium. The Basic is $5 a month and gives you 180 days of video event history. And that's a lot, that's 6 months. You get people and package alerts, which is pretty basic, and there's video preview alerts, which shows you a short GIF preview. Now the Standard for $10 a month also gives you doorbell calls and extended live view. So if you really don't want to miss something important, your doorbell can actually call your phone. An extended live view allows you to keep your camera open to watch the live view for a longer period of time. Now, if you upgrade to Premium, that's like $20 a month. It does allow you to have 24/7 recording if you just want your camera to record everything non-stop. And you get their smart video search where you can actually type in things like person, package, dog, and it will search the videos and try and find these things. Pretty cool. But it's $20 a month or $200 a year. So Nest Aware at $8 a month gives you 30 days of video event history, and Nest Aware Plus for $15 a month gives you 60 days. And if you want 24/7 video history, it gives you up to 10 days. So it's definitely much less with the amount of days of video history it lets you keep. So when you're deciding, you have to figure out, do you need more than 30 or 60 days of event history? Now where Nest has the edge is it doesn't save features for the higher tiered plans. If you want intelligent alerts such as familiar faces with facial recognition, animal recognition, vehicles, that's all the same in both plans. So there's positives and negatives about each, and this is more of a personal decision based on what you actually need. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Which one of these doorbells is better for you? So here's the reasons to choose the Ring. I mean, if you have an Alexa smart home already, then I think it's a no-brainer. If you love the idea of having a removable battery so there's no downtime in charging your doorbell, or if you really like the idea of having the Ring Neighbors app. And of course, with the Nest Doorbell, if you're already in the Google Home ecosystem, again, that's a no-brainer. Go with the Nest Doorbell. And of course, if you want Google's AI-powered smart alerts that can identify people, packages, animals, and vehicles, and with a subscription, facial recognition. And of course, the Nest gives you 3 hours of free event history with no subscription required, including AI-powered alerts. So you want to know which one I chose? I chose the Nest. Now, just for context, I have an entire connected smart home, and I have Google and Nest devices all over my house. That said, I do also have a number of Alexa/Echo devices all over my house too. So my smart home is compatible with both, and Siri. But for my personal needs, I think the Nest Doorbell looks so much better hanging on the front of my house, and that's pretty important. I love the AI-powered smart alerts and what the doorbell actually picks up, as well as the facial recognition. I really like the idea of not having to have a subscription, but still being able to go back a few hours and see my event history. And although the Ring claims to have a higher resolution, I actually prefer looking in the Google camera. And keep in mind, I had both of these side by side for a month and was looking through them a lot, and I just prefer the Google, or the Nest, whatever. And again, if you are a Google Home user, you have everything inside of one app. It's very convenient. You could have the camera display right there on your favorite screen when you first open the app, and I think it integrates much better within the Google ecosystem. Not a fan of the Alexa app. Now that said, I do think that both of them are great devices, and if you already have an Alexa smart home, it's going to be great for you. And I would love to have the removable battery, but that said, for me, the Nest Doorbell was the right choice. So that's it. I really hope this video was informative enough to help you make a decision on which doorbell is right for you. And if you do have any questions, comments, opinions, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll do my best to reply as soon as possible. Of course, if you enjoyed this video and if it was helpful to you, a like is always appreciated. And I would love it if you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching.